Hi again guys, and welcome to episode 39 of D.A.R.C, the mini review series where I'm just doing a quick overall recommendation for certain cars which deserve to be used more than the majority of GT6 players seem to use them. So in this episode we're featuring the Opera Performance S2000, which is a tuned version of the Honda S2000, obviously. And I'm kind of surprised, to be honest, that you don't see this car used more, because the S2000 is a very popular car on Gran Turismo, always has been, and there are quite a few variations to choose from of the S2000. You've got the original S2000, about 2 million variations of it from Honda. You've got the Opera S2000, the Spoon S2000, the Mugen S2000, the AEM S2000, a Muse S2000, there are loads of them. Literally dozens of S2000s to choose from in both road and race form. But for some reason this particular model, the Opera S2000, doesn't seem to get much love. And I'm not really sure why, because it's actually a very good car. Now, for an S2000, it is pretty expensive. It's not the most expensive S2000, but it is pretty expensive. It costs 125,000 credits, so all things considered, it's not a cheap car. But is it worth that price? Is that the reason why people don't buy it, that it's not worth the money? Well, no. I've got to say it's not that, because I would say it is worth the money. Now, yeah, 125 grand is expensive for an S2000, but this isn't just any S2000, this is essentially a racing car. Now, I'm not sure in real life whether the Opera S2000 is a road legal vehicle or not, but on the game it handles, looks and performs overall exactly like you'd expect from a racing car. Or at the very least a time attack racing car, if not something like a GT300 or even an endurance racer. I know it's not a GT300 car, but something like that. Now, fully tuned, the power and specs that you're looking at will be 414 horses fully tuned, so pretty good. Not the most powerful S2000 in the game, but decent amount of power. The weight with the full weight loss package is 920 kilos, so it's nice and light. Most of the S2000s are pretty light on Gran Turismo, but this one is nice and low on the weight field. And as far as its fully tuned PP, it sits at 538, which is actually pretty good, I would say. It's probably more competitive at, say, 525 or even 500, but even fully tuned at 538, it's still a pretty competitive car. The main downside to most S2000s are obviously their top-end performance, because they don't really let you tune them as much as it would be nice to be able to tune them, say with bigger turbos, to give them better top-end acceleration and top speed. But overall, most S2000s, if not all, on Gran Turismo do perform very well, and this is no exception. It's a very good car. The handling on it is very good. Outstandingly good, I would say. Like I said earlier, it handles like a fully fledged racing car. The brakes are very good as well. The weight, as we already mentioned, is nice and low, and you can really feel that. There's tons of grip. You can throw the car into corners and it just handles perfectly. Now, the car does have a little bit of oversteer. I feel like it would make a pretty good drift machine if you wanted it to be. But it's nothing that you can't control. It's not a bad handling car. It's not a difficult handling car. It just has a bit of oversteer sometimes. Almost, I would say it has oversteer on demand. So it will oversteer if you want it to, but not necessarily on every corner, like for instance a TVR might be inclined to. So I feel like this car would probably be very good for, say, tight, twisty tracks, say hill climbs or going downhill on certain tracks like Sierra. Pretty good time attack car, and certainly better for racing where the power limits are more restrictive, because for its power it is a very quick car, considering that most of the other Japanese sports vehicles in the game have significantly more than 414 horsepower, so for its power, it is a very quick vehicle. The looks, well, I mean, what's not to like? It's not that much different from the standard S2000, it's just got a fixed hard top and a rear wing and a few stickers. So it doesn't really look that radically different from the standard S2000. Now, personally, I'm not a huge fan of the Honda S2000. I know there are certain people who are absolutely nuts about the Honda S2000. And from what I hear, it's a very good car. Just for me personally, I'm not a huge fan of it. I respect it, but I don't particularly like it all that much. That said, it is a very good car. Now, is it 125 grand good? Yes, I would say it is, to be honest. If you're looking for something that can go up against Le Mans cars, well, no, of course not. But if you're looking for a lower powered, high competitive car, then yeah, I'd say for that category, it is very good. And if you haven't tried it out, I would recommend doing so. So that's it for this episode. I'll see you guys next time. And as always, thanks for watching.